This is Brandon with Evolution Powersports at EVP.Mode, our R&D facility here in Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to give you guys a breakdown on our new Outlaw car. All right, starting at the back, probably the highlight of the build is the Skidoo 1200 engine. We designed this to bolt into the factory X3 engine mounts, and we are working on a full plug-and-play kit for this engine. We got some big power goals. We want to make well over 800 horsepower with this package. We've been developing this engine for the past 2 years, and it's finally come to life. So there's a couple of reasons we chose the 1200 engine for this platform. Number one, the Standard Outlaw rules and Outlaw class limit us to 1200 cc's. And the other one is it's a BRP engine. So we wanted to keep that same brand kind of with the X3 chassis. It fits in there really well. It's 3-cylinder. The architecture of the engine is very similar to the 900 motor. So it just works well with this platform. And obviously our power goals were quite large for this engine. So in order to make 800, 850 horsepower, we needed the extra displacement that unfortunately can't get out of the 900. But out of this 1200, we're able to get just a little bit more out of it. So we're running straight methanol on this engine. We're running 2600 cc injectors on both the primaries and secondaries. Pretty much injector dynamics, everything on this build, from injectors to fuel filter to their new brushless fuel pump controller. For clutching, we've been working directly with TAP, developing a lot of their clutches. So we're using both their primary and their secondary, along with testing some different belt compounds. And so far it's working really well. We've yet to actually break a belt in the field. On the suspension, so we're running the full setup from Racetech Titanium, both their trailing arms and their front control arms. We've added in quite a bit of adjustability in the suspension to help work in different conditions. Shock therapy has been crucial in helping us develop the suspension and getting the chassis to work well and take off and apply power to the ground. They developed some custom rear shocks for us. We've integrated both compression and rebound control into our Motec ECU, so we have full control of that, each shock independently. Moving on to the front end of the car, as you can see, those Racetech Titanium arms up front here also. We're running ORI custom shocks. We move the fuel tank up here in the center. Obviously, we don't have a lot going on up here because the car is full-time two-wheel drive now. We made some little carbon fiber block-offs for the grill areas and just kind of helps tidy the car up a little bit. Moving on to the cockpit here. As you can see, it's center seat, which was another big highlight of this build. We want to do something different, and again, we wanted to keep all the weight as center as possible, left to right. So moving on to electronics, we've got a Motec C127 dash with custom display. We handle all of our logging inside of there. We've got a Motec 8-button keypad to control different functions on the car. A Motec PDM16 powering everything on the car. A Motec M170 ECU along with a Motec E888 handling all of the engine and suspension related functions. We've also got an M&W Pro Drag 4 CDI powering the ignition and all of the supporting Motec bits, Lambda and sensors and all that good stuff.
So this is Kevin with Evolution Powersports. I was the one that fabricated the chassis. So we started with the OEM Can-Am X3 chassis, slightly lengthened it, and in the process of that was the seat mount for the center seat. It has a custom roll cage that is welded directly to the chassis to save weight, the mounting points. It has the half pillar at the A-pillar for added structure, custom one-off side / door panels, custom rear firewall. The front firewalls are all aluminum, the full aluminum one-piece skid plate, Essentially, the main goal is to keep it simple and not take away any strength.
So overall, a lot of time and effort went into this build, a lot of custom one-off parts, a lot of stuff to make this build what it is, and hopefully put this thing on top of the box, and we'll keep developing this thing for the next couple of years and see what we can get out of it.